Ta-da! Welcome everybody to the uh, December 6th podcast of Growing Femmes. I don't have anything greatly planned, big surprise, but today we're going to talk about the holidays being upon us and what we're doing to prep for them if you're actually going to celebrate those. Hey, Debbie Hayes, good to see you in here. Up to today, Thunder Dan, good to see you. Up till today, I was ambivalent about if I was going to put up a tree, if I was going to decorate it all. I am going to decorate. I actually cut down a tree out in the yard today. It's a Charlie Browner, but it's about 6 feet tall, really skinny. It might take 20 ornaments if they're small ones, but mine are pretty big. I got a lot of ornaments, so I think I can find the ones that need to go on there. Tonight, I'm starting my evening smoking kaleidoscope eyes. This year's crop of kaleidoscope eyes. I also grew it last year, and I liked it a lot last year. It went a little drier than I would have cared for, but I really, really liked the pheno. And I'm pretty sure this is a very similar pheno to the last one I had. I don't know how much variation she had in that line, but I would definitely, once my kaleidoscope eye seeds are all gone, I will probably reorder or make a clone and try to keep it, or try to have somebody keep it, because I can keep a clone, but not long term. That's really not my bag. Although I've never tried it, so I could be totally wrong on that. Big Word, good to see you, my friend. And Kitty, Bad Kitty, I'm glad you're here. Cheers, everybody. As I was telling Kitty earlier this evening, I did rearrange my room. Any of you that you've all seen me on before, this is a very different perspective in my living room. I basically moved my desk from over here and angle it over here. No problem, right? Except my Dr. Dabber was plugged in charging, and I managed to somehow drop kick it to the floor with passion. And when I say it went to the floor with passion, I mean it went with passion. Here she is. All broke off. Whoops. Yeah. Shadooby. Shattered. I had to get out the vacuum then and do some cleaning up. So I got out the old TDE ball, and I'll be using that. And after the show, I will order another one just like the one I just freaking broke, because thank God Dr. Dabber does not charge a lot for those extra side pieces. And I also still have the one on the extra small intern that I love this thing with the old thing on it. You could tip it over and it wouldn't pour out. You tip this one over, it's going to fill your chamber, or it's going to, depending on how you tip it out, it will dump out. But unlike the other one, you can completely empty the chamber on this one. The first one that it came with, you literally cannot get all the liquid out of it. You just can't. I believe Kitty has one. She can attest to that. Although I will say this, not to talk out of school about Kitty. I told her not to suck too hard on it, because you can't take a big drag on it. And the first time she did it, she totaled it out. It was just like concentrate everywhere on the internal part that didn't need it. She didn't have any rubbing alcohol that day. It was so much fun. I have officially got all of my grow in pots or jars or whatever, that 5-gallon containers, and the rest are in my containers, the jar containers. So I'm very happy about that. Talking about the season starting, today also was the day that I made the decision that I will be sending out a few care packages. I don't know how many, with cookies and odds and ends for my garden. And so some of you will be getting packages, and another lucky person will be getting one of my gnomes. He knows who he is. Dan, I hope your gnome is still serving you well. That's actually one of my favorite gnomes. Is the one that Dan got. My boy Moss. Hey, G-Bay, good to see you, man. I mentioned earlier in Discord that I would be taking a 7:20 rip, which is in 5 minutes Eastern time, or 4:20 Western. What is that? Pacific time. Why did they call us Eastern and them not Western? They should be Western, don't you think? Moss is the boss. Yes, Moss and Doss were my cousins, about my age. Both of them partook of the herb, but both of them also pretty good drinkers. It was a family tradition that we drank as well as smoked. Moss, the one that is the namesake for Dan's gnome, he passed a year and a half, 2 years ago now. It's crazy when your cousins your age start to go. It's not really a concept you think about until it starts happening. We all know those rare people that have lost family members young, and it's, you look at it and go, ooh, better them than me. Finally, it's becoming me where I'm losing family members, and man, I don't think I like it very much. Truth be told. In fact, yesterday was my 13th anniversary of being a widow. I can remember a birthday fairly well. I cannot remember death dates to save my life. I know my mom's was at the end of September sometime, 26th, 27th, 28th. What we decorating? A tree, the room, my house is slowly throwing up. Well, I am going to do the fireplace in a little while. I've got a swag that goes across there. I can go real subtle, or I can sneeze Christmas all over the freaking place. But when you sneeze Christmas and it feels real good sneezing Christmas everywhere, you got to take that shit back down. Cheers, everybody. 2 minutes to our dad. Yeah, it's a very strange, it's a mind disconnect, Walt. I cannot for the life of me. My dad's death date, can't remember that. That's okay though, I guess. I'd rather remember the birthdays. And the nice thing was my husband's birthday and my father's birthday were on the same date, which was June 12th or June 2nd. I gave away my daughter's birthday just now too. So yeah, I can remember different birthdays where and I also live next door to an Eagles club, so they could just walk to the bar. Ooh, GG4. Yeah, cheers to that. My question to you guys out there is, do you have your Christmas shopping done? That is always the biggest question. Cheers, Lobster. I am almost done. Not quite. I am getting, I think, my son-in-law one of those smoke eaters. If any of you have a smoke eater and it works really well, I would be more than happy. Hi, Hooli. I would be more than happy to take a suggestion from you for what brand to get, because I did shop for those smoke eaters and they range from anywhere from, I know that's a piece of shit, to, hey, that's a lot of money. I wonder if it works. So if any of you know, speak up. Bueller? One thing I have blessedly not heard too much of, which I'm surprising considering I go to my granddaughter's every morning and they like it over there with Christmas, the Christmas music. Have not had a lot of Christmas music bombarding me yet. I thank Spotify for that because I don't listen to regular radio anymore. No Delilah coming through on me. I don't know if some of you might like that stuff, but it's hard for me. Very hard. By the end of December, I'm so glad it's over. But I do like the song Let It Snow. I don't know why. Oh, 7:20. Light up if you got them. I will play my Goofy Dab song. Let's see.
Lucas Gardner's got a spark so bright. In the 60s, but she's living it right. Sex positive with a life so bold. Every Friday night, the LSD unfolds. In the Ivy Army, she's
Cheers.
always there. Chatting with friends without a care. Lucas Gardner's got a story to tell. And no, she didn't kill her husband. All is well. She's living life with passion and flair. In every conversation, she's got love to share. With a wink and a smile, she lights up the room. Every Friday's trip is a psychedelic bloom. In the heights of life to the depths of fun, Lucas Gardner's journey's just begun. In the garden of life, she's the blooming rose, a free spirit wherever she goes. In the Irie Army, she's always there, chatting with friends without a care. Lucas Gardner's got a story to tell, and no, she didn't kill her husband. All is well.
All is well. Yay, and it didn't repeat. I did it good this time. As all of you know, even though the song says I'm always in Irie, it's not true. I'm also always in the Goodweed, and I'm always in Caribou Heart. And sometimes I'm at Northwest 47 as well. So if any of you want to hang out with me, I will be over there most days. Let's see what we got going on in this chat. Everybody saying hello to each other. Hello, hello, hello. Sounds kind of like a game show. It does a little bit. A little bit. That was compliments of TARDIS. And, generally, I'm a little suspicious of the A and the I. But that actually came out pretty good. And I've got a slower version of just about the same thing. But this was the one I played with and cut in half. It was actually longer. It was just like, okay, we're getting a little bit redundant now. Hey, J5, good to see you here, dude. Thank you all for showing up, in fact. Jay, good to see you as well. This year, I really didn't want to spend a lot of money on Christmas because shit, who does? So I ended up and I got my granddaughter a bunch of clothes because, those little weeds, they just keep on growing. I got a toy that I bought her a year ago that was too old for her. So I said, I'll just put it away till her birthday. Well, her birthday is also right before Christmas, so she can get it anytime Christmas or her birthday. But I pulled out an old Candyland. I've been saving it. I didn't know why. It's been on a shelf in my dining room. And I was cleaning up in there after my grow, and I looked at it was there, and I checked the age, and it said 3+. And I went, cool, it's going to be 3. So she gets Candyland, and what a nice antique. I think I paid $5 for it when they bought it for her mother. Mom's born in 92, so that would have been probably 96 or 5. Yeah, long time to hold on to a $5 goddamn game. Things I do. But she's going to love it because, I mean, perfect. She likes that kind of stuff. And also, she's getting some of that kinetic sand because, let's face it, she's not going to play in that sandbox outside for a long time. It's one of her favorite things to do. So, that saved me from coloring every day, maybe. I think I am going to roll a joint. Maybe not. I know we're all in the same cold zone, but for some reason I'm getting warm and cold lately. Warm and then cold. It should take me about 2 minutes, and I'm going to go. Oh, I put that back on. And also, during my cleanup, I discovered a little package of 4 or 5, we'll call them remnants from the Booth Crew meetup when we had all the gifts from you guys so generous. When I got a hold of that stuff, I stopped smoking my old stuff because why smoke that when I got all of your good weed to smoke? And I smoked it, smoked it, smoked it. It was wonderful. And then my harvest came in and your stuff went by the wayside, and I started smoking and smoking and smoking and smoking on mine, which I still am, of course. But then when I rearranged my room and I moved this box that had all of the stuff from the Booth Crew meetup, I was like, I still got quite a few little samples. Not a lot left of anything, but still have them. I'm actually sending that on to Miss Paula because I missed her at the Booth Crew meetups, and I think she would like what I've got there. They've been well preserved. They should still be good. So that's going to be part of her cookie box. And of course, some of mine as well. Shout out to Miss Paula Boobala. Cheers, Paula. I believe she's out looking at lights tonight. Back to Christmas. Does anybody have their Christmas trees up and decorated and all that happy horse shit? Because as you can see, except for a few decorative birdhouses, I haven't done too much. Hey, Weed Nerd, how you doing, sir? It's good to see you all out. I will say this, I am a little discombobulated here. And I haven't even lived up to my song yet. Jeez. Anybody got anything that they've gotten for their spouses that the wife has the tree up? Oh, you know what? I know some people that had their tree up before Thanksgiving. Or anybody before Thanksgiving, that they need a little counseling is all I'll say. Fatty burning. Good for you. Now I was going to roll a joint, but I lost all motivation. I'm just going to finish. Oh, I got a clean bong. Yeah, it's bumming. This pipe is kind of dirty, and I don't want to smoke out of it. That's why I was going to actually roll a joint. That's the sloth in me. That's been cooked enough. Let's go on to the bong. We have quite a bit of snow right now that's supposed to go away by Wednesday or Thursday. We're getting up in the 40s for like 3 consecutive days. I sure hope that's the truth. I really can't take having my fingers crack at the ends every year. I see why people move to Florida for the winter when they're old. I'd probably do it when I was young too. Actually, I tried to live there when I was young once, but Christmas in Florida. Huh. I like the ritual too, weed nerd, of getting everything and doing things in a certain order. Cheers, bitches. Whew. Gosh, it tastes good through this thing. Kaleidoscope Eyes. I was a winner again this year. I actually have. I got high when I was trimming because we all get high when we're trimming, but I know how big Kaleidoscope Eyes was when I took it down. And I completely trimmed all the buds on it. And I didn't get the yield I would have wanted, but I got a good enough yield. Yet, I have a medium-sized jar of Kaleidoscope Eyes. And I got a big jar of Kaleidoscope Eyes that I know it's not Kaleidoscope Eyes, and I don't know what the frick it is. But it's fresh from this year, I can tell you that. I just don't know what it is. See, I don't tell my children. I don't need to go in the home yet. But damn. Oh, and the label was this year's font. I change my font every year for duplicate strains. Always thinking. Shout out to the brother printer, man. Shout out to the brother printer. They do work a treat. I will say that. In fact, I'll say this about my printer. When I got my printer and I mentioned it to somebody that's in chat right now, they kind of gave me the business for getting a printer and getting all bougie with it. And guess who's got the same printer now? Dan. Dan Thunderdingen. They are a nice thing to have. But you do have to put the right names on the freaking jars to begin with. Big Mountain Fudge Cake. This one definitely needs a smaller jar. Oh, and this Big Mountain Fudge Cake actually is chocolatey. Last year's it was more coffee-ish, earthy. I don't know what you call it, but this one, and it was, according to Rasta Jeff, it had the chocolate structure. So I expected big things out of it anyway, and it did not fail me. Oh. Cheers, my dears. Also, why I hope we get that warming trend is because I've got some plants I need to up pot, and the soil is outside, frozen into a brick. And I could bring it in and try to thaw it out in here, but it's just going to thaw out in a few days. I might wait instead of wrestling it. Because the best I could do is give it like 40-ish degrees anyway to begin with, without sunshine or anything on it. But I hung my Blurple light last night. I haven't got it plugged in yet. Such an ugly light, those Blurples. Yes, fungus gnats die when it freezes. I have a feeling there's nothing alive in that soil out there right now. Chocolate Thai sounds good. You know, I do the same thing, Huli. I like to be mean to my plants, but I only do it on accident. It's a party. Like, It is a party light. I might as well just put the Dr. Dabber next to it and just sit over there and whoop, whoop. But I've also got a HLG, whatever it is that the DGC gives away, 100-watt grow lamp that I won spinning that wheel. Back in the day, I've had that thing in a box for years. I'm going to throw it together and put it up as well. So I will have my bar light, the Blurple, and the 100-watt. And I guess that's as close to me having a grow as I'm probably going to have for a while. Oh, and I am going to take the closet that currently has a desk in it where I did my drying and curing. I'm going to take all that stuff out, and I got some white plastic I'm going to put on the walls and ceiling. And then I am going to enclose it in and see if I can't control my environment a little bit. Could be disaster, could be big success. We'll see. I will say this, whoever told me that I really won't get anything out of my autos was correct. I don't think my autos did all that great this year. I mean, they look like they did okay for what they were, but yeah. I'll stick to photo periods that finish at 60 days. You can get quite a bit of weight off of those. Some of the 60-dayers, Kaleidoscope Eyes is supposed to be right around 60 days. I let it go longer. I let all of my stuff that's supposed to be around 60 days go longer, and I don't know why. It's usually, for me, it's a matter of time. I had a few of them from Fast Buds that were actually photo period, but photo period fast, which meant that they had some ruderalis bred into them, but they were not far enough down the lineage to be true auto plants. And one of them was Amnesia Fast, and the other one was Gorilla Goat Fast. The Amnesia Fast was pretty good. I really liked it. It had good terps, good flavor. Gorilla Goat Fast. Now, y'all smoking Gorilla Goat tonight. Can you imagine doing it faster than it already is? I think you need the time it takes to grow it as is, because I have grown the real Gorilla Goat too, or really Gorilla Glue Gorilla Goat. I have that as well in seed. Killed it twice. Autos are pretty, but exactly, that's what they were. They look like little house plants or little outdoor plants. Yes, Paula is awesome, and I miss her, and I keep trying to get her to come on here, and someday I'm going to get her on here. Swear to God I am. Hell or high frickin' water. Because this is called Growing Femmes for a reason. I want to promote us women that do grow and can grow, and sometimes we fall by the wayside, and takes our community to get us to come back in. And I know you guys helped her, tried to help her from when she did her move, but she ran into some more problems where she just can't freaking grow right now. She's not in a good situation where she can grow, and it's not putting her in a good frame of mind to come in and talk about growing. I wouldn't want to do that either if I was not growing myself, but as it were, I get to talk to her almost daily, and she's doing great, and I am so happy to still getting to wake and bake coffee clatch with her, even though it's not on the Caribou Show. And some of all the rest of you, a few of you also see her now and again. But it's like spotting a white stag sometimes, I'll say that. In fact, there are quite a few people that a few years ago were quite regular. Now they're very hard to find anymore, but people's lives change, and there's evolution, and sometimes it's for the plus and sometimes it's for the minus, in my opinion, but it's not for me to say. Excuse me, there's a cord on the floor I was stepping on. There we go. Excellent. This must be fascinating as hell watching me get high and ramble. Sorry, I was going to have a guest tonight, and I didn't get on my get off my ass and get to talking to her. So, oh, I will say this. I will talk about this. Next Friday, I am not going to have a show because I will be at the Sun-Grown competition in Muskegon. And that is Friday night with the concentrates and Saturday all day with the more concentrates and the flower competition. So that is where I'll be. Hi, Fat Freddy's cat. Sandy Claus. Sandy Claus. I don't know about no Sandy Claus. All I said is that holidays have begun. I thought we'd talk about Hanukkah. I mean, there's a lot of people celebrating things. I'm going to do the pagan ritual of putting up a tree this year. And Yuletide carols, man. So cheers. And I will also say this, because it's Christmas, a lot of the seed breeders are putting out some seeds, and Loving in Her Eyes has tempted me to get some more seeds. So there's a good chance I might be trying to start planning my grow for next year. I know I'm going to try to keep the Cherry Paloma and the Cherry Real alive, as well as the Purple Heart. They're all still hanging out, but I'd like to get a few other things started a lot earlier this year than I did last year, so it's going to take a little more planning. Let me see what it says here. Active in the ocean. Damn, Googled the spell checkers. The cheekers, the spell cheekers. Sandy Claus. We could have Sandy Claus here. We've got some pretty nice beaches, but probably can't see them right now. We got a bunch of snow last night before last. In the last 24 hours in any event. Not too thick, but enough to be a pain in the ass. I really don't have a whole lot more tonight. I just wanted to talk about Christmas and say that I am going to be in the competition. I put the apple snacks from AB Seeds in there. And that actually was, I had two phenos of it, and the bigger one I think is the better of the two, and that's the one I put in. But it does have apple-y taste to it, but as I've said to everybody, that since I put it in there, I don't expect to even show in this one because everybody in my part of the world had a fabulous grow. But having said that, to get in the competition, it cost me $100, and I gave them 14 grams of product and got 2 tickets, for one for myself and somebody else for both nights. And on the second night, they give us a dinner and we get t-shirts. And yeah, I've been to bigger events that gave me a whole lot less for a whole lot more money. So thank you, Dan. I really like AB Seeds genetics. He's got a lot of, I think it is Rainbow Pebbles. Rainbow Pebbles he crosses too. Is his go-to boy, I believe. Yeah, because it was Apple Snacks by Rainbow Pebbles for me, and he's got a couple other things that have the Rainbow Pebbles in it. So I'm not sure where the Rainbow Pebbles come from, but yeah, it brings the kick, I would believe. Hey, Lobster. Thank you. Thank you very much. I will take them, J5. Yeah, I'm. It's a little bit of snow, and I'm already wishing I had more shit growing. Just Winter is just a little too long. I'd say you get past January 1st and it would be all right to start warming up about then. My opinion. It's quite enough of winter. But that's just pipe dreams of an old lady. So on that, I am going to do one more dab rip. And I'm going to eat a little piece of paper and I'm going to pop out of here unless one of y'all want to come in here and shoot the shit. Otherwise, I'm going to cut it short. Speak now or forever hold your peace. That Muskegon show is fun, and there's a lot of people that go to it now. I hope it continues. I heard a rumor this was going to be the last one. I hope that's not true. I sure hope it's not true. It took a long time for the Muskegon or even the West Michigan side of the world to kind of show itself and develop. I mean, everybody was always here, but we weren't all interconnected. For a long time, the only time I got to see an event, I went to the middle or far east side of the state. It's 200 miles for me on a lot of them, 175. It's not a short jump to go over there. And that's where most of Michigan Bros Grow Show guys were from, was East Lansing, east and south. So all of a sudden, here and there, I started seeing West Michigan people. Smiley, he's West Michigan. Kazoo Kush, he is southern West Michigan in Kalamazoo. He's going to be there this year. At least that's what he said on Instagram. So looking forward to seeing him there. But it is a good time. I will say that. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Cooley. You know what? I probably won't have StreamYard for very much longer because they did raise their monthly fee. And I'm paying that myself. And I got a line on another one that's a lot cheaper and it's about the very same thing. And I'll run that one for a while until they decide to boost their prices over where I want to pay to. And yeah, so maybe in the very near future, whatever little E-Bud is switching the Wednesday night show with Uncle Rick too. That is the one I'm going to give a shot to and see how that does. He swears by it. And I kind of trust him on it. He seems to know what he's doing over there. That would be little E-Bud that I'm talking about. So, okay, I'm going to do one more dab. And then I'm going to pop out of here. I didn't get you anything this year, Fat Freddy's cat. I'm sorry. I got a dab tool here somewhere. Hey, here it is. Ooh. So no show next week, but in 2 weeks, I hope to have a special guest. Let's keep my fingers crossed, your fingers crossed too. You might like this guest. It's somebody that you don't normally see along our circuit. Of course, I haven't got them as a guest yet, so I can't say anything about it. I'm not going to do the Tommy Chung fiasco. It's nothing like that. Not even close. Some you've never seen, to my knowledge. And cheers, you guys. Let's not forget to do a Discord disperse when we're done here. Peace on earth to you too, Fat Freddy's cat. Cheers, kitty. Cheers, weed nerd. That was very nice. That was peanut butter breath. Peanut butter breath. For those who like the peanut butter. Well, it's been fun, but I ran out of stuff to talk about because I got too high. It's hard to do a monologue when you're not fully prepared. But I love each and every one of you for coming out, and I will see you all in just a little bit. Ta-ta for now.